Good morning, students. I am here with you with the lesson, The Enemy. It's a wonderful story, and what we have to see over here is the various perspectives which are going to come. Now, at one end, we have a prisoner of war, or rather, a soldier who has escaped but is seriously wounded. The soldier is hurt and he is seriously wounded and he needs treatment. He needs to be immediately surgically operated. And he lands up outside a doctor's house. The house is situated on the seashore and he lands up over there. So what should he do? Now comes the various perspectives which we ought to look upon, which ought to be our focus. What should we do? What should the doctor do? Should he go by the Hippocratic Oath? Should the doctor go by the Hippocratic Oath? And what does Hippocratic Oath says? I shall have utmost respect for life since the time of inception. I shall have utmost respect for life since the time of inception. Then another thing we have over here is as a nationalist-minded person. If he is a nationalist, he thinks about his own country, what would the people of his own country say about him? What would they think about him? He would be called a traitor. He would be taken as considered as a traitor. And what is the punishment of a traitor? What is the punishment of a traitor? What would you do if you see a traitor? Obviously, the person has to be ostracized, removed from the society, and in all probability, he might be put to jail, he might be sentenced, or he might be given a death sentence. Then we have the wife. We have the doctor's wife. What would be her reaction? Now, here also you have to think about various perspectives. This lady, Anna, she happens to be from America. She has studied in America, she was born and brought up in America, and the soldier is also an American. Naturally, she has a soft corner for America, but she is also nationalist. She is worried about her own nation. Then we have another thing coming up, another thought coming up, that is the reputation. Reputation of the family. How would the family take? Here they have no family. Only they have a retinue of servants. How would the servants take? Because the perception. Once we look at perspectives, various perspectives, we also have to see the perception of other people. How other people perceive the reality. How they look at reality. With what aspect are they looking at reality? For the layman, for the common man, it would always be they would be thinking about their own nation. They would be thinking about their own nation. No other which way. There could be no other way. The person would be thinking on the line of Hippocrates, or he would be thinking in the lines of a humanitarian approach. You can also have a humanitarian approach, but in a war, there is no such thing. Either you are for or you are against. For a layman, either you are for the country or you are against the country. There can be no middle path. So what would be the servants' reaction? Either they will say, you hand over this prisoner of war, this particular soldier who has escaped, who needs treatment, either you give him to the police, give him to the army, or we leave the house. Because we don't want to stake our reputation. Right? Now, there are two little kids. One baby is 2 years old, another is maybe 5 years old. And they are attached to the slave, to the maid servant. Another perspective. The maid servant, Yumi, she says, if the children miss me, one fine day she says, after 7 days she says, I'm leaving the house, I cannot stay here any longer because you have not given away the soldier to the police. If you are not giving the soldier to the police, I am not going to stay over here. But because I have lived over here in this house, I have served this house for such a long time that in case the children miss me, call for me in the night. At the night time, please call me. In case the little children She was taking care of those children. If they miss me, please send a word for me. And you know my house. She's telling the lady of the house. Now the lady of the house, she has another perspective coming up. How to deal. The doctor is seeing a patient, but the lady is practical. Women are always practical. They have a very keen sense of being practical. When I say practical, I mean the pragmatic approach. They always follow a pragmatic approach towards life. Now she's taking all various aspects into consideration. She knows what the servants are thinking. She knows what her husband is thinking. She also knows what she herself is thinking. And she also knows what people might say. If they are caught, what would happen? Now there is another perspective. This Dr. Sadao, the hero of the story, one of the characters, main character of the story, he happens to be the surgeon, the personal physician and surgeon of the general of the Japanese army. He is so important for the Japanese general that he was not sent to war. He would have gone to war if he had not been treating the general. Now, for this, general is indispensable. For this man is indispensable for the general. The general cannot do anything without him. So here comes the other perspective. Now, this person has been operated upon. But after operation also, after going through a major operation also, you need time for convalescing. You need time for recovery. What do you need? You need time for recovery. So with this concept, I leave you here to reflect on these issues. Bye-bye. All the best. Stay safe. Stay happy.